Good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Sun's trying to shine. Just wish the heat would come with the sun. I will warn you, the dogs are back from the kennels. So if you hear any untoward barking, it'll be the girls. Yeah, because Rosie's just already had a bit of a barking do. My son's just took my daughter-in-law to get her car back because it's gone for its MOT. I know in America things are different, but in the UK if you have a car above a certain age, every year it's got to go and pass these tests. You know, they test the brakes, the emissions and whatever they've got. And you have to have this certificate every year that says car's still okay, you've passed the test. Sometimes, of course, if you get an unscrupulous garage, which fortunately we don't usually, they'll say, oh, it needs this replacing, that replacing, and that replacing. Yeah, all mega bucks, yeah. But, you know, that's one of the snags of owning a car in the UK, yeah. They not only sting you for enormous amounts of road tax, which, you know, for which I don't know what they do with it, because they certainly don't repair the potholes in the road. I've never known a place as bad for potholes, although people who are born and bred here insist, oh no, it's the same all over the country. But I must admit, we went to Garstang the other day, as you know, I told you, there wasn't one pothole to be seen. So I suppose it depends on how councils spend their allocated cash, you know. In Fleetwood they seem to like erecting monuments and statues rather than repairing the roads. Maybe I'm wrong. Cheers. I've got my Los Angeles mug. I think actually it came from Z. You know, Zelda, oh God, I can't remember her. Do you know, I'm really bad at remembering people's, you know, YouTube titles and things like that. Yeah, Zelda NRJ3, that's the one. Cheers everybody. Black coffee. I have already taken the pain pills because we won't go into it, but Janet is having a little... I really am going to have to try, the operative word being try, to get an appointment because there's something going on. As you know, I had a spinal op, about 15, 16 years ago. And after that, I did have painkilling injections in my spine, which were fantastic. Didn't kill the pain altogether, but made it nicely bearable. They've stopped them. They gave you some bumf about it being bad for you, blah-de-blah-de-blah, but when it all comes down to it, it's cost. The NHS is on its knees. So anything that they don't deem as absolutely essential, in other words, if you're not lying on the floor having a heart attack, you're not deemed as being essential. So unfortunately, being in pain with the spine is not on their high list of priorities. If I was mega rich, we're going back to the, if I win the lottery, oh, I'm waving my hands back again. If I win the lottery, before I go on my world cruise, I'd go and have my spine looked at. I doubt there's anything they can do for it because it's old age and poverty, and you know what I mean, your back's just collapsing when you get to a certain age. Your body says, hey, hello, you've been here too long. We'll whop you with bad knees, bad hips and spinal issues and neck issues. We'll whap you with all of them. Just to make sure you're paying attention, you know. Anyway, like I said, being in pain means I'm alive, so why should I worry? Oh, sound like the Christians then. I love the Christians. Have you not heard them? Not a religious group. Yeah, they're a group which I can never understand why they have never been more famous than they have been. And they have a song that's got in it, why should I worry? Why should I worry? Oh, you look them up if you've never heard them. Look them up. And they've been going for years. I think Gary, who's the lead singer, he's younger than me, but he's in his late 60s. You wouldn't think so because he's, you know, still got the vocal cords, which a lot of singers in their 60s should really give up, you know, naming any names, but, you know, when they've lost it, and they keep on going, and they expect us to go, ah, bravo, and they can't hit any of the high notes, and they wobble on the low notes, you know. And you're thinking, oh, sweetie pie, give it up. You've had your time, you've had your glory. You must have had the money. Give it up. I mean, one person who still has it, so I believe, I've not really heard him lately, is Tom Jones. He's still got the vocal cord. But a lot of the others, not naming names, but they should give up. You all know who I'm talking about. You've all got a singer who was your favourite back in your teens or your 20s. And now you're kind of embarrassed for them, aren't you? You're thinking, oh, please, just give it up. Stick to your, well, can't say stick to your day job, can we? Because that is the day job. But they should retire, shouldn't they? Buy a ranch or buy a farm. Live off their glory quietly, you know. That's what I would do. I've never had the vocal cords of an angel. Never even had the vocal cords of a frog. But that's by the by. But if I'd ever been in a position where I'd earned a lot of money, through fame, fortune, whatever, I would have invested it wisely and thought about my old age and thought, there'll come a day when I can't do A, B, C, D, whatever it is. I did. There's got to come a day when I can't do it anymore. So then I would like to have enough money, retire to a lovely cottage somewhere, and live off my earnings if I've invested them wisely, for the rest of my life. But of course that will never happen because I'm too old now. I'm too old to be an overnight sensation, if you know what I mean. And I certainly haven't got the vocal cords of an angel. Yeah, fly just came to join me now. At the moment, like everywhere else, we're going through the political blah, you know, that's going on, which I am taking no notice of because it's all promises, and then when they get elected, it's, oh, did we really say that? Are you sure? Even though it's, you know, on television and recorded, you know, yes, you really did say that. You really did say you were going to do A, B, C, D. Here we go again. But I had to laugh yesterday. Rishi Sunak, who is our Prime Minister at the moment, was saying he felt he was deprived as a child because he didn't have Sky TV. That's cable TV if you're in America. We didn't even have a TV, let alone Sky. Oh, sorry about that. Rosie is deciding to bark. Sorry if you can hear her. Just pretend she doesn't exist. That's what I usually do. It's been great not having her for a week. Not having the woo 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 every time anybody dares to pass by vaguely in the same street. Anyway, I was thinking, oh, poor Rishi Sunak, he was deprived because other children at school were talking about things that were on Sky TV and he had no idea what they were talking about. I'm like, oh, grow up. Get over it. There's so many children in this, even now, this day and age, don't even have a TV. Or if they do, they certainly don't have cable TV and all the privileges that he was obviously brought up with. I think the fact that he didn't have Sky Television is like one of the least of his worries, yeah? I mean, look at him now. It's worth an absolute fortune, isn't it? He doesn't care about us poor little wretches, but never mind. Anyway, what have I got to show you today? I've got to show you, this is mine, by the way. It's funny, you know, anything I have for sale, nobody shows any interest in. Anything I've made for myself, it's like, oh, what size is it? How much are you asking for that? Maybe I should say things that are for sale are mine. And then people would say, oh, is it yours? But how much is it? You know, are you selling it? Maybe I could say, oh, well, you know, just for you, I'll just sell it. Anyway, this is, once again, that Gulf Coast. Looks a bit odd there, but it doesn't when it's on. I've got it on a bit funny. The neck looks a bit uneven, but it isn't when it's on. But I've put sleeves in. But unfortunately, they're not long sleeves because I ran out of yarn. It was beautiful, beautiful yarn. It was Sirdar bamboo. But knots, it was absolutely loaded with knots. Every ball had about 3 knots in it. So, yeah, but it is lovely and soft. But I mean, I've been asked over and over, like people say, oh, why don't you do this and that and the other, but yarn is very expensive these days if you verge off the norm. You know, if you do, oh, shut up, Rosie. You know, if I do buy something that's merino or bamboo or organic cotton, I can't sell things that are cheap, that are made in acrylic. So I know I certainly couldn't sell anything. I mean, if I was to try to sell this, for example, nobody would want to pay me what I actually paid for the bamboo cotton. Yeah. And even the green cardigan I was showing you yesterday, I'm not quite sure how much Surdar wash and wear is. I'd have to look it up. But for me to make it again for a larger size, for example, you know, and having to buy Surdar wash and wear again, people wouldn't even want to pay what it cost me for the actual wool and the buttons, you know. Or the yarn, I should say, the buttons. And this is the problem I'm up against. Yes, I would make things that were in gorgeous yarns. Yes, I would make things that people would want to a certain extent. But it's just, if they are not a crafter, if they are not a crocheter or a knitter or anything, they don't understand just how much the raw materials cost. It's not a question of me adding mega bucks on for my time, which you know you're never going to get back. You know, it's just not a question of that. It's just a question that they don't understand how much the actual bamboo would cost. If I was to make this in a bigger size, you know, we're talking a really bigger size, how much would it cost me to buy the bamboo? Would people say, when I say it's going to cost me between £20 and £30 to buy the actual bamboo yarn, if you want a big size, that's what it would cost me. They wouldn't even want to pay that for the yarn. I mean, I don't know whether you have this problem if you ever try to sell anything. I mean, craft shows are the same. You know, I make things and I'm selling them like scrunchies, hair scrunchies. I was selling them £2 for £1. There's a lady that I watch on YouTube and she sells her scrunchies, all right, they're done in that fluffy chenille yarn. $18 each. And she's selling them like they're going out of fashion, you know. And I'm like, why? What is the difference, you know? But of course she's a sweet young thing and she's got a massive audience of sweet young things. I've often thought I should have one of those avatars, or what do you call them, those filters that make me look about 25. And then people would think I was young and trendy. Not because I want to be young and trendy, but they would perceive me as being, oh, she's a young and trendy crocheter, so everything she makes is up to the minute, yeah. The fact that when we're elderly we can still crochet things that are up to the minute, we don't get the audience, because lovely as all of your lovely as all my subscribers are, and I do appreciate you, don't get me wrong, I love each and every one of you, they are of a certain age group. I don't attract. I mean, I looked at the demographics on my YouTube and nobody really under the age of 25 actually watches me, you know. And they are the kind of audience that would buy all these little things that the sweet young things are making, you know. So sadly, unless you're a 70, 80-year-old trendy woman who wants to wear a boho top, I'm not hitting the right market, you know. Finding my niche. Thank you, Christine, for saying that. Christine said I need to find my niche. I have been looking for my niche in life as well as in crochet for so many years, and I've just come to the conclusion that my niche doesn't exist. Or if it does, it's hiding somewhere. Oh, cheers. Anyway, I have been crocheting. I've started again on the green in a bigger size. Still got the other one if you're interested. 32-inch bust cardigan, going very reasonably. Selling for the price of the wool and the buttons. I've started another sleeve. Well, I've started another 2 sleeves, because when I'm improvising, in other words, not using a pattern, I like to do both sleeves at once, so any mistakes I make on one, I make on the second, don't I? So I've got 2 sleeves, that far up, with the lovely, you can see the label this time because I've actually brought the ball in, wash and wear, it's lime green, gorgeous yarn, not very soft, very hard wearing. You will not get a pill or a fluff on any of that stuff, I guarantee you that. This I'm actually wearing is wash and wear in black that I made when I actually had the shop. So we are going back in time there. This is, I used a basic cardigan pattern and I used a stitch pattern, which I don't know whether you can see because it's black. It's called the leaf hopper stitch. And as I said before on other occasions, if you want to buy a crochet book, buy a book of stitches. No patterns, just stitches. And then it doesn't matter what you make them. If you're a person who likes to make blankets, if you're a person who likes to do cushion covers or whatever, having stitches, you know, they tell you how many stitch repeats, you know, how many stitches you need to repeat the pattern. And they give you, sometimes they give you a chart as well as the written instructions. They give you a little picture. And this is how I adapt. This is how I don't call this, because this is not making up a pattern. This is just an adaptation. I used a basic plain cardigan pattern that I'd had for many years. Oh, the family's coming back. Just let me shut this door, then I won't hear them. They have a habit of coming in and saying, oh, you're making a video. As I said, I don't call this a design. I don't say I've designed it, because I haven't. I've used a basic cardigan pattern, looked in this stitch book, found leaf hopper stitch, thought, oh, that's nice, and put it onto the cardigan. And as I say, then people will say, oh, that's nice, what's the pattern for that? Of course there isn't one, is there? But I didn't design it. I didn't put a pattern and say it's mine. I didn't, you know, print it all out and say, whoa, this is my pattern, because it isn't. I think I used a basic serge-out pattern, if I remember rightly. But this is many, many moons old, and it's wash and wear, and it has washed and washed and washed. So, it's very, well, it's not very expensive, but it's expensive for me to buy, to pass on to someone else. You know, if I was to crochet this black cardigan, for example, for someone else, they would balk at the cost. They say, oh, you know, we can buy in the US, we can buy this Red Heart, Karen, whatever it is, for so many dollars for a bucketful, you know, whereas I'm paying more than that for a tiny ball of this, yeah. So this is what I'm up against all the time. I don't know whether other crafters are up against it all the time. I wish I had £1 for everybody who said, oh, I would love to give up my job and to crochet, sit at home and crochet all day and sell everything I make. And I'm like, good on you. If you can do that, I just applaud you, I really do. It's just, I never wanted that in my life, because I've retired now, I've got mobility issues, I've got pain issues. I just wanted to be able to make things and just sell them for a little bit of what we used to call pin money. I think the Americans call it seed money, don't they, or something, just a little bit. So that when you go to a lovely shop and you see a pair of shoes at £60 and you're thinking, oh, well out of my budget, it would be nice to go in and think, I'll treat myself to those shoes. Yeah. I can have, I'm not saying I would buy them every week, but it would be nice to not have to think, yeah, I've got the electric bill coming up, I've got the gas bill coming up, I've got this and that and the other to pay, I've got the insurance to pay. Can I really afford £60? No, I can't. So you walk past these beautiful shoes, don't you, and you think, So as I say, I don't want to make a career. I'm too old for that. I don't even want a shop anymore. Although I was saying to my friend, my niece when was in Garstang, there was some like little shop premises for sale. And I said, you know, I would love the old-fashioned shop, where you had a little shop and you lived behind it. So you're killing two birds with one stone. You're finding yourself somewhere to live, and you've got a little shop at the front where you can put your little things in the window. That would be my ideal. But as I said, I'd never even do the stairs if I had a house, you know. I'd be moaning and groaning at every step, because today, I'm like thinking, have I taken my pain pills? Can I take 2 more? And you're like, no, I think I took them earlier on. I can't take any more because I'll overdose myself, you know. But obviously the 2 I took earlier on haven't worked, you know. So I must go and see the GP. I must have another x-ray or something. I've not had an x-ray on my back for probably 10, 15 years. So there's something going on there that's not quite right. Do I want to know? I don't really think I do, but would it help if I knew? Maybe it would. Maybe it would. I mean, the last time I saw a surgeon, he said, look, I'm sorry, but we can't do anything. He said, I can stabilise your spine, I can put you through a major operation, but if you're looking to me to solve your pain issues, I can't. He said, I cannot say you would be in any less pain if I do this operation. All I would tell you is it would stabilise your spine, and you would be maybe another 6 to 12 months, you know, recovering from it. And at your age, you know, he said if you were my mother, he said I would advise you against it. So I did take his advice, although that was many years ago, probably things have progressed. But then again, the NHS does not have the money, does not have the facilities, doesn't put people forward for operations that you don't absolutely desperately need. Yeah, I need a new hip, I know I do. Need another new knee. But seeing as the first one wasn't a success, I'm not galloping into the second knee operation. Although, as I said, things have changed, progress, everything's, you know. But I was talking to one of my old school friends yesterday, got back in touch with an old school friend. Great, well, not spoken to her for years. And she was saying her ex-husband has had 3 new knees. No, he doesn't have 3 legs, he had 3 new knees. And neither of them has been a success. So you're thinking, do I really want to put myself through all this again? And my attitude is no, I don't really. So I'll just continue to grumble, whine, whinge that I'm in pain. Try not to tell you. Try to put on my happy little face. I mean, people have actually been lovely with their compliments and in the comment section saying, you know, how cheerful I am and that. I do try. I try to look for the best in life. I try to look for the happy things in life. Although things are going on at the minute with me that are not happy things. And I'm putting weight on. I've just weighed myself again and I've put another 2 pounds on. Whoever is losing weight, will you stop giving it to me? Because I am going up, up and up. I'm going to have, as you know, my blood test on Monday, so I'm going to have a whinge at them because I've not had the injections, as you know. Oprah Winfrey's probably grabbing all my injections, and Sharon Osbourne. You know, the ones who are using it for dieting. But, unfortunately for me, I'm stress eating. I'm eating the wrong things. I'm eating sweeties, I'm eating chocolates, I'm eating things I shouldn't be eating. I do stress eat. Other people can't eat when they're stressed and they go down the nick, you know. When I say go down the nick, I don't mean go to prison. I mean they go thin, thin, thin. That's an expression we used to use. Oh, she's going down the nick. Didn't mean she was going to prison. It meant she was fading away. I think it meant you would be thin enough to fall down a little grid, little nick, a little whatever, you know. I mean, when you got thin, when I lost a whole lot of weight one time, people used to say, oh, don't walk over that grid. That's a grating or whatever. Don't walk over that grid, you'll drop down it, you know. Many years a time I've got my stiletto heels stuck in grids, and that is painful. You walking along, you've got your heel stuck in the grid, and then you carry on walking, and your foot's like behind. If you're lucky, your foot comes out your shoe. If you're not lucky, you sprain your ankle, yeah? Well, that's it. I did watch Sheila's video. Sheila's knitting tips and whatever, other things, other stuff. And she showed quite a lot of my photographs of my knitted and crochet things. Oh, thank you, Sheila. They look so nice on the big screen. Woohoo! And I'm like, did I really make that? It looks good. Do 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 do. Play my own trumpet yet again. Do 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 do. We all have to do that from time to time, don't we? You have to get up and think, my goodness, I'm great today. I'm good today. Everything I make turns to magic. Because if you don't, who else tells you that? If you don't tell it yourself, if you don't look at yourself in the mirror and think, well, you've done a good job today. I don't look in the mirror and think, my God, you're gorgeous, because that's pushing it a bit, you know. But I do look in the mirror and think, you haven't done a bad job today. You're looking as good as you can, yeah. And I've said before, I don't dress to impress. I dress to impress myself, yeah. It's me I dress to impress, no one else. I don't dress to say, you know, for somebody else to say, oh my goodness, you're looking nice today. I don't, no. If I never saw anybody all day, which I probably won't apart from my family today because I'm not going out, I still got dressed up. Still got a nice top on. It's got a bit of like glittery round the belt, yeah. Oh, I'm just looking at our Trixie, she's just gone in the garden. And the skirt I've got on has got bit of red embroidery at the back. Yeah. It's plain apart from that. But this is the way I would dress even if I wasn't making a video. I've had a shower, blow dried my hair, such as it is. It's dropping out like, but we won't go there. Put on this, put on that. Coordinated. Beads as well. Red and black beads. But I don't do it for you. I don't do it for impressing anybody else. I do it to impress myself. And I think that is what you should do. I mean, I don't advocate everybody dresses like I do. No, don't. If you're happy wearing your t-shirt and your jeans, that's fine by me. But I only would say, dress in a way that makes you happy. Do something during the day that makes you happy. I mean, my life isn't particularly brilliant at the minute, but we won't go into that because I don't believe in, you know, that coming on here and going, yeah. But I do what I can to make myself feel good about myself during the day, yeah. And you should do that if you can. You know, even if you're having a really rough day, you know, you're feeling terrible pain, you're going through a lot of things, you've got a lot of losses in your life. I know people who've lost very close, dear ones just recently. You know, they're going through bereavements, they're going through a lot of things that are happening. But I still think, do something for yourself. Do something that makes you feel good about yourself during the day, you know. Even if it's, in my case, eat a bar of chocolate, which I shouldn't be eating. Trying not to today, trying to be good. Got on the scales. But, you know, I don't advocate go out and get drunk or all that, but if you have one drink, or say for example, if one drink makes you feel better, if you have that sly little nip of sherry or whatever it is you drink. I basically really drink one drink maybe once a week, but I do that on my live videos usually. On a Saturday I'll have a drink. It's not a very, very alcoholic drink, but it does make me feel like Saturday lives. It's party night, it's special. I get my bar of chocolate, I have my bag of crisps, chips if you're in America, and I have a little drink, which could be only 5% alcohol, but it makes me feel like party night, yeah? Anyway, I'm going to go now, but if you're around at 9 o'clock UK time tomorrow, come and join us. We have a lovely time. We have a little chit-chat. I don't do any self-promoting, by the way, on my party night, as I call it. I don't start saying, you want to buy this, do you want to buy that? No, it's a party night. We just all have a chit-chat. We talk about various subjects, not always crafting. No. Come and join us. Anyway, like, subscribe, press the thumbs up, tell all your friends. I've had some more subscribers, only a couple, but everybody is welcome. Bye for now.